The frustration surrounding the Toronto Blue Jays is reaching a boiling point, and after yet another painful loss, fans are no longer holding back. What was once a team filled with promise and depth has quickly turned into a struggling ball club searching for answers in nearly every aspect of the game. From sloppy defensive errors to an underperforming offense and a growing list of injuries, the Blue Jays are facing a critical moment early in the season, and the pressure is mounting fast. This latest defeat wasn't just another mark in the loss column. It felt like a breaking point. Fans who have remained patient through the early weeks of the season are now openly expressing their frustration, and it's not hard to see why. The team has struggled to hit consistently, their defense has been unreliable, and the pitching staff, particularly the bullpen, has been stretched to its limits. The combination of these issues has created a perfect storm, leaving the Blue Jays in a difficult position as they try to regain control of their season. One of the most concerning developments came during the game itself, when Vladimir Guerrero Jr. suffered a scare that hasn't gotten nearly enough attention. During a play at first base, Guerrero Jr. injured his glove hand when it became entangled with a runner. While he remained in the game and later reported that he felt okay, the incident served as yet another reminder of how fragile things have become for this team. With injuries already piling up, even a minor issue involving one of their biggest stars is enough to send concern rippling through the fanbase. And Guerrero Jr.'s situation isn't the only injury the team is dealing with. Outfielder Dalton Varsho was forced to exit the game due to discomfort that extends from his quad down to his knee. According to manager John Schneider, the injury is currently being treated as day-to-day, with no immediate plans for an MRI. However, the fact that Varsho was already feeling discomfort before the game and still took the field has raised questions among fans. With so many players already sidelined, risking further injury to key contributors is a decision that many are struggling to understand. These injury concerns are only adding to the growing list of problems. The Blue Jays' defense, once considered a strength, has become a major liability. In the latest loss, a costly error by Guerrero Jr., despite his generally strong defensive play at first base, helped swing momentum in the opponent's favor. These kinds of mistakes have become increasingly common, and they are having a direct impact on the team's ability to win games. When defensive miscues extend innings and put additional pressure on the pitching staff, it becomes even harder for the offense to find its rhythm. Speaking of pitching, the situation there is far from ideal. While there have been some solid individual performances, the overall consistency simply isn't there. Starters like Kevin Gausman have been relied upon heavily, but beyond a couple of dependable arms, the rotation has struggled to provide stability. This has led to an overworked bullpen, with relievers being forced into high-leverage situations far more often than they should be. Even when pitchers manage to deliver decent outings, such as a 5-inning, 3-run performance that would normally keep a team competitive, the lack of offensive support and defensive reliability undermines those efforts. The offensive struggles, however, remain the most glaring issue. The Blue Jays lineup has been shockingly ineffective, ranking near the bottom of the league in key categories such as OPS, home runs, and total runs scored. While injuries have certainly played a role, they cannot fully explain the extent of the problem. Too many players are underperforming, and the team is failing to string together quality at-bats. Even when opportunities arise, they are often squandered due to poor execution or a lack of situational awareness. Players like Andrés Giménez have provided some consistency, and there have been occasional standout performances, such as a strong showing from Miles Straw, but these moments have been few and far between. Meanwhile, others, including Kazuma Okamoto, are still struggling to find their footing. Okamoto, in particular, has been a focal point of concern, as his inability to contribute offensively has left a noticeable gap in the lineup. The situation is further complicated by the absence of key players due to injury. George Springer remains sidelined but is reportedly making progress, with hopes that he could return soon. Addison Barger is also working his way back from injury, though his timeline appears to be longer than initially expected. And perhaps most significantly, Alejandro Kirk, arguably one of the team's most valuable contributors, continues to be out, leaving a major void both offensively and defensively. As if things weren't already difficult enough, the pitching staff has taken another hit with the loss of Cody Ponce, who recently underwent ACL surgery. The expectation is that he will not return until the 2027 spring training, effectively ruling him out for the foreseeable future. This is a devastating blow for a team that was counting on him to provide significant innings and stability in the rotation. There are, however, a few glimmers of hope. Jose Berrios is making progress in his rehab and could be nearing a return, while Trey Yesevich continues to work his way back as well. Their eventual returns could provide a much-needed boost to the pitching staff, but whether that will be enough to turn the season around remains to be seen. At this point, the Blue Jays are at a crossroads. The season is still relatively young, and there is technically plenty of time to recover. The American League East has not been dominated by any single team so far, which means the door is still open for a turnaround. But for that to happen, the Blue Jays must address their issues quickly. They need to clean up their defense, find a way to generate consistent offense, and manage their pitching staff more effectively. Perhaps most importantly, they need to rediscover their identity. Right now, the team looks lost, unsure of how to win games and unable to execute the fundamentals that are essential for success. Whether it's small ball tactics, improved plate discipline, or simply playing cleaner baseball, something has to change. For now, one thing is clear: the fans have had enough of the excuses. They want results, they want effort, and they want to see a team that plays with purpose. And until that happens, the pressure on the Toronto Blue Jays will only continue to grow. Baseball Fire.